Right, I'm here at Monkey Town, and I just want to take one of the gaboons out. Just want to give her some exercise and everything. So she's had about 2 meals and she hasn't pooped yet, which is not a heck of a lot. They can obviously eat more, but we just want to give her a little bit of exercise. Let her have a little slither about. So this is a sort of average size adult female. She's got quite a nice slender build to her. We don't want to get her too fat. A lot of the time if they get quite fat, they can have problems like with any animal. So I'd say she's a pretty good size, and she will get bigger, but we just don't want to push her too much. So this is a West African Gaboon Viper, and the easy way to tell the West Africans is that they've got this little nose horns. She's actually got one nice long one shortish one, but I think that's because of a stuck shed. I got her like that. Just nothing serious, adds a little bit of character to her, makes her unique. She's actually got quite a nice like pink sort of hue on her head. I find quite a lot of the time putting a snake in a different environment, especially your naturalistic looking cages, their colors can just become a lot better. I don't know what it is, but it's quite interesting. I've noticed it with other gaboons as well. I mean, her colors also changed now quite a bit. She's got a lot more pinks than she was when I first got her. Nice thing, she's on the move. With all your heavy bodied snakes, they move on their belly scales, because for a heavy bodied snake to move like a typical serpent, it takes a lot more energy because they are heavy bodied. So they do use that movement, but only if they want to get away quickly from something. Now, I found many times that a Gaboon Viper will huff and puff and go crazy. She's giving little heavy breathing, nothing major, but they can make an extremely loud hiss. Sounds like pressurized air getting blown down a sort of drain pipe or something like that. They have an impressive hiss about them, definitely. A lot of people also, sort of don't want to hook and tail a snake like this. I prefer to hook and tail them. You can support them nicely with your hand, and luckily I haven't had much issues with Gaboon Vipers. They are more reluctant to bite than other snakes. The snakes don't want to bite people or anything. It's a last resort when they're fearful of their lives. So a lot of the time you can Gaboon Vipers not so quick as to bite. I find a lot the babies tend to be a little more striking out and things like that, but as they get older you don't have too many problems. Then again, I've only worked with about, I don't know, between 30 and 40 different specimens, a lot of them being juveniles, and a lot of the time the adults might hiss and go crazy, but they don't actually strike out at all. Whereas some of the babies, they can do full body launches. They like do flick flacks. They're pretty strong and nimble with their strikes. Yeah, so as I was saying, with the West Africans, got the horns on the nose, and then also there's no triangle underneath the eye, whereas the East African has got no nose horns and it's got that nice triangle under the eye. So she's actually moving quite a lot. A lot of the time I'll take out Gaboon Vipers and they just sit there. So it's very good for us just to get them to move around, get good exercise. Being an ambush predator, they're lying wait. I think this girl has not moved. Obviously we can't really see what she does at night, but she has kept the exact same position from last week where I saw her. So that's the reason why they can also get a little bit backed up. And we just want to give them good exercise, because obviously in the wild they're going to move around a lot more to thermoregulate, maybe find better hunting grounds, and obviously the males to find a mate. But yeah, we just want this girl to have some nice strong muscles, so that when it comes to breeding time or whatever, she's not going to have any problems pushing them out. Because with my last female, the albino, she might have been a bit, the het albino female, she might have been a bit overweight, and that might also lead to complications in actually giving birth and breeding and things like that. So we're all learning all the time. I don't claim to be a special expert in snakes or anything like that, Yeah, I've been keeping snakes and reptiles for about 19 years, but there's always stuff you can learn as you go along. So it's always good to get a lot of people's views and things like that. And the technology we have nowadays is great. And that's exactly why I'm making YouTube videos and things, is to give out little tips and things that I've maybe learned that other people can want. I see I've got a cat busy stalking this Gaboon Viper. It's going to be a big mistake if that cat wants to do anything. Go on, get out of here. Go on. It's just showing a lot of interest. Damn cats. You know, nothing worse than feral cats and that, killing so much wildlife and things like that. That's another thing about you know, why cats are able to kill so many snakes and also even dogs. It's because when a snake is defensive, it doesn't move as quickly as when it wants to eat something, and they are trying to give as much warning as they can before they bite. And that's why animals are able to kill snakes without getting bitten quite a lot of the time. You know, obviously a lot of animals, especially a cat, has extremely fast reactions compared to a person. But still, if a snake wanted to get that cat, they could do it, no problem. All right, so these guys, as I say, the bites are quite, you know, sort of rare. Even when they get stepped on, they don't bite sometimes. Whereas something like a puff adder, very quick to bite. I'm not just generalizing either. Each snake has its own personality, so you know, each to their own. But yeah, you do not want to get nailed by a Gaboon Viper. A bite from this snake is probably fairly equivalent to being bitten by 3 to 4 adult puff adders in one go. They've got a huge venom yield. That's why they've got this extremely large head, large venom glands, longest fangs of any snake in the world, which are long hinged fangs. These guys will easily bite through a boot or something like that. And she's just so interested in coming toward me. I think she's quite enjoying being out and about. But anyway, her venom is a cytotoxic venom, which is a tissue destroying venom, same as a puff adder and many other species, obviously. So spitting cobras and things, that's why it burns in the eyes. And yeah, you just do not want to get nailed by a snake with a cytotoxic venom, tissue destroying, causes extreme pain, massive swelling. You know, some guys describe it as having your arm in a fire or in cooking oil. There's nothing you can do about that pain. But the problem with a bite from one of these is that the venom yield can be so overwhelming, and they've also got a cardiotoxin which can affect the heart, that a lot of the time people can go into anaphylactic shock. If that happens, you're in big trouble. Okay, normally use adrenaline to treat those symptoms, and that can buy you more time. But as I say, you just do not want to get bitten by one of these snakes. But again, I've not had problems with adult Gaboon Vipers ever really striking out at me. They go hiss and they go crazy, but they just do not want to bite. But again, it's not something you want to take a chance with, because if you do something wrong and it does bite you, then you're in big trouble. All right, what a beautiful snake. These are definitely amongst my favorite species to keep, to look at. They're just amazing. So we might find that after all this exercise she's having now, that she'll leave us a nice little present. Obviously swimming them is also very good, but she's moving around enough, which is great. And she's not too much of a bad girl, hey? Hey? Yeah. Very cool. They look like they've got this nice smooth velvety skin, but they're actually very rough. They've got rough keeled scales, same as the puff adder, and that vertical pupil, they're active at night. So any animal with a vertical pupil you can actually tell is mostly active at night, or as these guys, early mornings, late evenings. They're crepuscular, like the puffy as well. Okay, so she's very calm. I mean, that's why I had my hand fairly close to her. She's not worried. I mean, she's not going to do anything. But again, not something to get complacent about. She just keeps seeming to come my way, And that's because when a snake has decided, I want to go this way, it's not very easy to change their minds. Yeah, I could stare at this animal for days. So beautiful. Now with the females, it's quite easy to tell a boy from a girl. The females have got this little stumpy tail. Now a lot of people don't know, oh, where does a snake's tail start? I do a lot of kids shows. That's hilarious. You know, the answers and things you get, you know, saying that it starts at the neck and things like that, but obviously it starts at their cloaca. Now with a female, this is her tail. Her cloaca is right about there. Okay, so from there to there, that's the tail. Now a male is going to have a much longer tail. So with the females, it's quite easy to see. It tapers very quickly. Short, little, stumpy tail. Males have got quite a bit of a longer tail to them. All right, so I'm just going to let her cruise around a little bit more. Maybe see if she wants to have a couple photos. And then we'll put her back in her cage. But I think she's quite enjoying getting out and about a little bit. All right.